And you. And you. And then where is he? There he is. There's my boy. Hey, buddy. Oh, yeah. It's time, baby. Oh, that E85 life. What's going on, boys? Welcome back to the vlog. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing well. Today, well, it's not all we're doing today, but we're starting off by going to a car show, actually. Bringing the M3, myself, and the missus. Wave to the camera. Did you forget your ring again? Oh, all right. Well, she's not the missus today. I guess she's just some random girl I picked up. Wow. Anyway, we're heading to a car show at my buddy's shop called GT International, and it is for European cars. So there's going to be Porsche, BMW. Those are really the only ones I care about. Maybe there'll be some Lotuses or something. I don't know. But we're heading there right now. Then I have to pick up some stuff for the S2000 and potentially get the S2000 started in this video. I'm not sure if that'll happen today, but I'd like to make it happen in this video. So, first things first, we're gonna head to this car show, and then I'll update you guys when we get there. All right, boys, so we just got to GT International, and it's a lot more going on than I thought. I don't know, it's kind of a test to see how this mic does, filtering out the background noise of that guy versus me, but I'm gonna go try and find Webster and see what this is all about. Yo, dog.
What'd you get?
Exhaust manifold gasket. Woohoo! It is day 2, so I didn't really get to record much with the car show yesterday because there wasn't really. We kind of showed up at the end of the day there. Everyone was kind of leaving, so we kind of missed the bulk of the car show, but it was still a good event. GT International, I'm definitely going to be doing some work with them in the future. The guy that runs it, or the team over there, is awesome, and Webster, one of the owners over there, is a really good guy. We were talking about a possible 911 build, which would be absolutely sick, but I'm getting off topic. Went to Honda, picked up the exhaust manifold gasket. I told him I needed a header gasket. He laughed at me. Anyway, picked up the exhaust manifold gasket. All right, boys, it is time to dig in to the pack and play. All right, boys, so what we have here is the Skunk 2 Alpha header. And I know there may be better header, or a better header for NA. But since I am planning on supercharging this, from what I'm told, this is one of the better headers to go with. Plus, I got it for a really good deal from a member on S2KI.com, and he had it sitting in his garage forever and just never used it. So he gave me a really good deal on it. So whenever you can get a quality piece like that for a discount, in my mind, it's worth doing it. Got the radiator hoses done. I have the electrical to do. So there's like a wire that goes into here. This wire goes into here. I have all the grounds connected. I have everything torqued. I need to get the airbox hooked up. This is for the airbox. I believe this is for the airbox. And then, oh, get the header on, which is on my other motor. install the header, which I'm hoping I can squeeze through there somehow, because that would be kind of a pain in the butt. Then what I have to do is siphon out the old gas, because I text the owner, or the old owner of this, and he said he thinks the gas is around 3 to 4 years old, which is very, very bad. So I'm gonna siphon as much of it out as I can. I don't wanna drop the tank, because I believe then I'd have to take the rear diff out or the top off, I'm not sure. But it'll just be easier. I'll siphon 99% of it out, fill it back up with 93 and use that. And then I have to add coolant, change the oil, and then I think we might be able to try and start it up. Honestly, I mean, we're really not far off. So I'm not gonna spend too much time talking. I'm gonna try and bust out some of these small tasks right now. So let's go to time lapse. All right, boys, so header installed. That's not a big thing. That has to come up from the bottom, so that was pretty easy to do. Nothing you need to know about with that. The starter bolt, the horrific starter bolt that everyone complains about. What I found is, here's the tensioner pulley. So you crank up on that, remove the belt, remove the top alternator bolt and loosen the bottom one, and then lean this over, and that gives you an angle to stick a long extension like this all the way back. This is, I don't know how long this is. I would say it's probably, I don't know, 24 inches maybe. But that can reach that and get you all the way back to where that starter bolt is, and that will take care of that. So that wasn't as bad as I was thinking. So now what I'm doing is changing the oil, and I'm going to connect the Airbox. I got all the electrical taken care of, so that's good. We're actually really close to getting ready to start this. So I'm gonna hammer down on the rest of this stuff, focus, and hopefully try and get this started by today. So back to it. All right, boys, we are now to the point of Airbox. And the one thing I'm not sure where it goes is this piece right here. So I'm gonna have to do some research on that. But while I try and figure that out, I'm going to do the Airbox mod while I have this all apart. I just went through and cleaned all this. So the Airbox mod is removing this piece right here, cutting this piece out, and also cutting that piece out as well. So this will just be basically blank like this, and then blocking off this piece right here with part of what you cut from here. So you basically just go down and trim around this, and you leave in this piece so the air filter is held there. And this is all for sound deadening anyway, so you don't need it. So we're gonna block that off after I remove those other pieces. So I'm gonna get started on that, and then I gotta figure out where that piece goes, because I have no clue. And we're basically a few steps away from trying to start this thing up. So progress. Time to extract some gas. I have a long line going into the gas tank, and I kind of had to cut this. I'll show you when I get it out, but I kind of had to cut the hose like at an angle to be able to get it in there. And then once it hit the tank, I shoved even more down, so it's like circling around in there, because it wasn't getting anything, it wasn't suctioning anything. And now after I started doing it a little bit, started to come out. So I don't know how much gas is in there, but I'm gonna try and get out as much as I can. So I have my tanks here just in case. She wants to see this happen. Why don't you be cameraman? All right, boys, we got the gas done yesterday. I don't know if I drained all of it because I can't turn on the car. There's no battery. But before I do anyway, I got most of the gas drained, but before I check to see how much gas is left, when you turn the car on to the on position, I found out that gas is being pumped into the fuel injectors anyway. It kind of primes the system. So what I'm going to do, because I'm going to try and start the car today, what I'm going to do is remove the fuel pump fuse and remove the plugs from the injectors, so neither of those try to make the engine turn over. I'll tell you why I'm doing that after I get this stuff done. All right, boys, so now what we're gonna do is, since I'm going to be putting the shifter back in and it's not a hard thing to do, I'm going to rebuild the current shifter that I have. I have the parts from Honda to replace the carriage and that little, I don't know what that's called, a washer, no, not a washer, a bearing, slide, I don't know, bushing, that's probably a bushing. So I have some brake cleaner here to clean that, high temp grease right there. So I'm going to rebuild the shifter, and I'm not going to walk you through, I'll just do a little time lapse on that. All right, boys, here's what we got. So I rebuilt the shifter, new bushings, grease, packed that in, got that installed. I got the intake, enough installed to where that vacuum, vacuum tank is installed down there. I still have to tighten that up. That isn't like fully good to go. I have the fuel injectors unplugged so they won't try and spray any fuel into the motor. I got my helper, and I have the fuse pulled for the fuel pump itself. So what I'm told now, I spoke to Roman over at Boost Logic, and what he suggested doing is trying to start the car like 5 or 6 times for like 10 seconds at a time until the low oil light comes on or goes off. So you try and cycle as much oil as you can through the system without it trying to fire. Then you'll go through and plug the injectors back in and the fuel pump fuse back in, and you can actually try and crank the motor over. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Have Quinn here in case anything is leaking, spewing, anything like that. A second set of eyes is always good. So fingers crossed it tries to crank over. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, that's a good sign. Let's try this. All right, this time's for real. Let's see what happens. One last test. Dude, I think we're getting close.
It sounds like it.
Oh, I think it's gonna be it, boys.
Did it turn off on its own?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it got like a little bit.
That's right, people. We got it started. Oh man, it was late last night, and so those clips that you saw, man, listen to these birds. It's like National Geographic out here. Anyway, the clip that you saw where I couldn't get the car started. Bonehead move on my part. Really bonehead move. If I had to forget one thing, why'd it have to be this? Literally the most simple thing there is. I didn't plug all the connections into the ECU. Most of you guys are probably car guys. For you guys that aren't, this is what I equate that to for my girl, or what I told my fiance it's kind of similar to. That's like using a vacuum, it not turning on, and you just forgot to plug it in. Like that. That's like the simplest thing. But you know what? Long day at work. I was excited. This stuff happens. You know, it happens. But she works. I'm gonna try it again though. Let's. Oh yeah. I don't know why they thought I even do that. I'm so stoked. This is so tight. Oh, RPMs drop down. Everything is, look, 3 miles an hour. I am so freaking jacked. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's not like I did a V8 into this or anything like that. But you know, this is a big accomplishment for me to do on my own. And now I can move forward with the build and start doing more fun stuff. I mean, for right now, what I'm gonna do is just get all this put back together. There's a lot of stuff I still have to clean up, like this front piece right here, where the cabin air filter goes. I gotta put that black piece back over it, which means I need double-sided tape. The tires on the rear, those are like 5 years old and rotten. So I'm looking on Craigslist just for some cheap used tires, because I don't wanna buy wheels for this yet. So I'm just gonna throw some cheap tires on these stock rims and go from there. Lots of stuff to do, lots of stuff to do. But she runs. That's the key. That is amazing. That's where I'm gonna end this video, guys. If you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button. I got a lot of stuff coming up with the S2 and even more stuff coming up with the M3. So that's gonna be fun, because I'm gonna have some good comparisons between the two. And if you like this longer video, more build type stuff, give me a thumbs up just so I know. Drop a comment down below if you don't, or just drop a comment down below if I wanna talk with you guys. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.